Passive income, myth or reality. Passive income, myth or reality. I actually went and checked the math on 4 of the most common passive income claims you'll see online, and the answer surprised me. It's not a clean yes or no. Real passive income means money that keeps showing up with little to no ongoing effort from you. That's the actual bar. Most online content quietly lowers that bar without telling you. So let's test 4 specific claims against the real numbers. Test number 1, dividend investing. The pitch is simple. Buy dividend stocks, collect a check forever, completely passive. And that part is true once you own the shares. The dividend genuinely requires zero ongoing work. But look at the actual yield. The S&P 500's current dividend yield is around 1.07%, well below its long-term historical average of 1.63%. On $10,000 invested, that's roughly $107 a year. Genuinely passive. Just small unless the amount of capital behind it is large. Test number 2, high-yield savings accounts and CDs. This is about as close to 100% passive as money gets. You deposit it, you do nothing, interest shows up. Right now, the best accounts are paying around 4% APY, compared to a national average savings rate of 0.38%. So yes, fully passive, fully real. But 4% on most people's actual savings balance is still a modest number, and it barely outpaces inflation once you account for taxes on the interest. Test number 3, and this is where the myth really lies. Write once, earn forever digital products, specifically self-published books. The promise is that you write something once and it earns passively afterward. Here's the actual data. Roughly 75 to 80% of self-published authors earn under $1,000 a year from their books. The meaningful income that does exist, the $12,000 to $15,000 median some surveys report, belongs specifically to authors actively marketing multiple books on an ongoing basis. That's not passive. That's a content marketing business that happens to sell books. Test number 4, rental real estate, probably the most commonly cited passive income asset of all. Here's the honest version. The actual cap rates on most rental properties run in the modest single digits, before subtracting maintenance, vacancy, and repairs. And the part that's actually passive, not dealing with tenants, repairs, and 2 a.m. phone calls, only becomes true once you pay a property manager, which typically costs 8 to 10% of monthly rent, cutting directly into that already modest return. It's passive, after you pay someone else to make it passive. So here's the real pattern across all 4. There are 2 completely different things both being called passive income. The first is money from capital, dividends, savings interest, bond yields. That's genuinely passive with basically zero ongoing effort. It's just small relative to the capital required by design. That's how markets price safety and liquidity. The second is income from an asset you built. A book, a course, a rental property. That kind of passive income is real, but it's front-loaded. It requires a large amount of active work upfront and often ongoing active work to keep it earning before anything resembling passive shows up. So, myth or reality? Both, depending on which version is being sold to you. The version where you do nothing and the money pours in, that's the myth. The version where capital quietly earns a modest return, or years of work eventually produces a smaller and smaller amount of ongoing effort, that's the real version, and it's genuinely worth pursuing. It's just a lot less exciting than the thumbnail. 3 things to actually take from this. 1. If someone's selling you passive income with no real upfront work and no real capital required, that's the part to be skeptical of, not the concept itself. 2. Money from capital is the most reliable passive income there is. It's just proportional to how much capital you have. There's no way around that math. 3. If you're building an asset for future passive income, budget years, not months, before the work-to-income ratio actually flips in your favor. Quick recap. Dividends, real but small. Savings and CDs, real but modest. Self-published books, real for almost nobody who's actually passive about it. Rental real estate, passive only once you pay someone else for the active part. Passive income isn't a myth. The free, effortless version of it is. If breaking down the real math behind financial claims like this is useful to you, subscribe. That's exactly what this channel does. See you in the next one.